Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. We'll be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys, answer any of your questions, and to just hang out and talk about snowboarding. Recently on the channel, we got to 600K subscribers. So a huge thank you to everyone who's been watching the channel for years. For all the new people on the channel, just thank you guys for all the support, for helping us get to 600K. And just really appreciate you guys. So I just want to come on, talk to you guys, hang out, and just see what you guys have been up to, see where everyone's been snowboarding around the world and what the conditions have been like. Man, I think I need to get a haircut. This thing is getting out of control. But yeah, stoked to be on here. Coming to you guys from South Lake Tahoe in California. If you guys didn't know, I kind of moved out here I've heard so many good things about the Tahoe area. I wanted to come out and experience it, and it's been like a dream season. The snow hasn't stopped for like at least 2 weeks now or more. December was amazing, and yeah, it's just, I think it's snowed like at least a meter or more, like 4 or 5 feet of snow in the last week. So it's been incredible. But yeah, I've got a few things to talk about too. This past week in videos, I've been kind of going a bit crazy with testing out different bindings. So I got the Burton step-ons, so I've been trying those guys out. Pretty controversial video where I was riding them and I didn't really give them the most glowing review, but I'm going to continue to ride them and check them out in like different conditions, and maybe they'll grow on me. So first start with the step-ons didn't go super well, but I'm going to continue giving them a chance. And then over here we also have the Nidecker Supermatics, which is another step-in system. So I got a chance to try those, and really didn't give them like a very glowing review either, but I'm going to give them another chance as well, and maybe take them onto some other stuff like some groomers and things. But yeah, that's been super fun. But yeah, let's give some people shout outs for hopping in here early. We got Ryder LeMay, thanks for hopping on with 600K. A Million Pop-Off says 600K, congrats Kevin. Thanks so much, 1 million popping off soon. Yeah, that's the goal, let's get to 1 million. Yeah, Luke says congrats mate, thanks Luke. We got Chuck Van on here, says 600K, that's pretty rad. Congrats Kevin, Team SPC. You can't stay for the chat. He's watching all the way from Australia. Thanks so much, Chuck. Oh, he's on his way to North America too. So, Chuck, hopefully we can meet up in the next, sometime in the next month. We got Kenny on board. Yeah, everyone's, Wes is on here. Says congrats 600K. We got the Send It Syndicate. Thank you guys so much. The giveaway. Bis Tokyo says, what's the giveaway? So we're gonna do a couple beanie and sticker pack giveaways for getting to 600K. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll do that sometime in the chat. I'll come up with a couple of questions, kind of like a trivia style question about the videos, and whoever's the first one to answer will win a beanie sticker pack combo. We got the first super chat from C4 Note. Thanks so much for the support. Says long time since I've been able to tune in, but congrats on 600K. You always have top content and it's much appreciated. Thanks so much, C4 Note. Yeah, let's appreciate the support. And just trying to bring you guys the best videos that I can do. I think this year especially, just really trying to get back to the roots of Snowboard Pro Camp, like coming in with the vlog videos, like the vlogs, but also the tutorials, gear reviews, and just trying to get everything out there as much as possible. For me, I think this has been one of the most rewarding seasons in terms of content, because I really love making the content where it's like, how to get more height on a jump, or here's 5 hacks to improve your snowboarding, or the video I uploaded yesterday was, how to survive riding on flat, narrow runs. So videos that help you guys out as well, and that's like my favorite content to make. So bringing that content back with a vengeance this season, and it's been super fun. Yeah, we got the Shreds Meds Project says congratulations. Hope to see you back at Mount Hood. Yeah, love Mount Hood. We got Old Man Shredder, Joshua saying congrats. Thanks, guys. Let's see if anyone has any questions. So one new thing on the channel is, so in the past, there's been Snowboard Pro Camp Patreon. So that's been an extra way that if you want to support the channel, Patreon has been the way to do it. But just today, I actually deactivated my Patreon because we're launching YouTube memberships here on Snowboard Pro Camp. So if you want to become a member, there's a join button. I think it's like down here somewhere. There's like a join. And then if you become a Snowboard Pro Camp member, you actually get special badges and emojis. But the perks that come with becoming a member is that you get to participate in members only polls. So I don't know if you guys saw the poll about a week or so ago. It was about what binding system I should buy. And so everyone voted on the step-ons. So that's why I bought the step-ons. And so I'm going to be doing more polls like that. And if you're a member, then you'll be able to participate in those member-only polls. So it's a good way to support the channel and keep the videos running. And this year on the channel, I've hired my first employee. So we have Yannick working with the channel, helping to film and helping to edit videos. So yeah, as the costs of like producing the videos goes up, any way that you guys can help is really appreciated. So yeah, there's that members only join button down there. But yeah, you also get, so besides the members only polls, if you ask a question, your question goes into an area on YouTube that's like a priority area for answering questions. So if you put a comment, then it goes into that priority. So when I log into my account to see to read comments and answer, all the members get funneled up to the top. So if that's something that you guys are into and if you want to support the channel, that's an awesome way to do it. I think the best, the thing that makes me really want to, kind of do it this way too, because there's lots of different ways to earn a living off of YouTube. One is like to do sponsorship deals with brands. And in my opinion, like from my experience, I actually don't want to do any sponsored like videos. And like I would much prefer if like you guys were the sponsors. So if you guys say can help me out and then that can help me to get the gear, then I can give you guys like the complete honest like feedback on the gear without any pressure from like let's say if company X sends me gear and they pay me $5,000, then even if they say, oh, give it, just be honest, it's hard to be honest when somebody is like paying you. So I'd much rather just be completely community supported. And then if you guys say, hey, like buy this new snowboard and give us feedback on it, it's like gonna be the straight truth. And I've always tried to do that, but I want to do that just like to the next level, where if something is awful, I'm gonna tell you guys that it's awful because you guys are the ones who are going to possibly buy it. Or if something is amazing, I'm going to tell you guys like the honest truth. And I've been trying to do that with these bindings and continue to do that on the channel too. So yeah, through being a member, that's a way for the community to sponsor Snowboard Pro Camp and to not have, company X, Y, or Z, trying to sponsor the channel and for me to make commercials for them, because for a couple reasons, I don't really like it. It doesn't feel good. And I just want to give you guys the straight goods as well. All right, let's get into some questions. YR Guitar 1 says, what's the biggest difference between boards today versus 10 years ago? Huge differences. So like, I think my snowboard progression happened a lot in like the 2000s. So between like 2003 to 2011, that was like kind of before the channel. And I was just more of a, I was working as an instructor in Whistler. Snowboarding like was my passion. But when I was buying snowboards, they all were very similar. They all kind of looked like, had that toothpick shape. So very like standard, almost every board was the same. The things that were different were mainly like the flex. Some of them maybe had a little bit of taper, but you couldn't tell too much. You had softer and stiffer snowboards, and maybe the side cut radius was a little bit different. But besides that, there wasn't a huge difference in snowboards. Whereas today, when you walk into a snowboard shop, You have like different nose and tail sizes. So like on the K2 excavator, the nose is like really big and kind of pointy for that float. And then the tail is got that cutout like swallowtail. So like those changes are huge in the shapes of the boards. And then also now the way that rocker has been integrated into snowboards has been completely different as well. Back in the day, everything was camber. Every single snowboard was just pure camber. So aggressive, but poppy. But now it's like introducing rocker. Rocker makes power riding so much easier, makes butters more easy. And now there's the combination of everything. So that's pretty cool. Jake J says, why are full-faced helmets frowned upon by the snowboard community? Considered Jerry. I mean, the snowboard community in general is just pretty, one segment of it is pretty harsh, and they think everything is Jerry pretty much. So I wouldn't feel too bad. There's that one core group is always going to be calling things Jerry. But I mean, in general, I feel like the full face isn't really that big of a deal. I think for snowboarding, I think it is just a little bit too much. At least that's the way that I see it. Like, you don't need that full face protection. I don't think, maybe in different sports like dirt biking, or more maybe like mountain biking, sports where like you have the crashing into dirt or rocks or a tree is more likely, and that's where you really want to protect your face. Where in snowboarding, like, face injuries aren't really very common. I don't think I've ever seen one. Like, I don't even think I've seen somebody like hit their nose or anything like that. So I think it's just it's not really useful, because it's just like you don't need all that. But if you like it and it's something that you like wearing, it keeps you warm or protected, then I'd say go for it. Jasper wants to know, what is easier, front or back 360? So I think it really depends on the person, to be honest. I used to think front threes were easier than back threes, and then the more I started practicing my backs, now I feel like they're easier. So it's really dependent on the person, for sure. Ooh, Lavoy says, I had a snowboard friend who put his knee into his face on a powder drop. Actually, I have seen that. So your like knee will come up, like if you drop like into powder, and your knee will come up and hit your chin. I've seen that one for sure. Nico Gonza says, I'm 6 foot. What would you recommend size board for the park? I just don't want a big heavy board I can't lift up. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your weight too. So how much do you weigh? And a good thing to go by is like, look at the park board you're interested online, and then go to the sizing chart, and then just match up your weight with the length board that is good for you. And if there's some like crossover between, this size, say like 158, 160, 156, if there's a bit of a crossover, just go for the smaller one. Benjamin, what powder board has been your all-time favorite to ride? I guess I kind of have like, it's hard. I have like 3 all-time favorites. Honestly, I put the excavator in that top 3, the K2 excavator. It's been amazing. Last year I was riding the Nidecker Beta APX. That one was amazing. That's in my top 3. And then a third one I would put in there is maybe the, I'd probably put the Livechat Orca in there as well. So I think, yeah, those are my 3 favorites. Tyler, what's the best all-round board? Man, that's a tough one, because it kind of depends on like what you do more of. Like, are you doing more park? Are you doing more powder? So everyone's best all-around board is going to be a little bit different. Like, if you ride 90% park and 10% powder, then you want to get like a very park-specific board and maybe just take that into the powder. But if you're riding mostly like park and groomers, then you want something maybe more like this, so that's going to be good on those pow days. So it's really tough to say, because when somebody says like, oh, this board does everything well, it's like, it's not really true, because there's always a sacrifice. If it's good in the park, it's going to be less good in powder. If it's good in the powder, it's going to be less good in park. So you're always making compromises. Jack Graham, favorite current rider. Man, there's so many out there. I'll get back to you on that. Yeah, there's so many, man, there's so many good riders. It's hard to say. Nesolia says, how would you compare the resorts in Japan versus the ones in the West Coast? So in Japan, the snow is definitely, like, I think Japan has the best snow, and you guys get the most as well. So that Japan is definitely unique for that. On the West Coast, we do get a lot of snow, but it's typically a bit heavier. So the weight of the snow is different. So the snow quality is definitely different. Japan's like that really light, like you go through it, it just kind of flies up into the air and disappears. Where on the West Coast, it's a little bit heavier. For the size of the mountains, definitely the West Coast of North America has bigger mountains, and it's like not even really comparable. For example, so in Niseko, like Niseko is pretty small. You could probably fit like 30 or 40 Nisekos into, say, like Whistler Mountain. So it's a much smaller mountain, but it's like very high quality in terms of, like, you get lots of great tree runs, you get some like nice kind of like open bowl areas, and then the best powder. And also the terrain in Niseko is like, the pitch of the terrain is kind of just very, just a good gradient to the pitch. So you can ride with speed and not be worried about like cliffs or hazards coming up. There are some hazards, but in general, you can just like ride with a more consistent speed. Where in some of the big mountains on the West Coast, you have like cliffs and boulders and different kinds of trees. You could run into like a really thick, dense forest that you can't even go through. You can, rivers. So there's more hazards, I would say, on the West Coast too, and more varied terrain, like really steep double black diamonds, and also like mellow runs. Where in Japan, I think it's like very rare to get a double black diamond. And it's like most of the terrain is kind of more blue. But both have their like pros and cons, and Japan is definitely like top, like some of the best riding. So yeah, I'm getting tons of comments coming through, guys. Gonna try to read as many as possible. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping on here. 600K live chat. We'll do the first giveaway shortly as well. But yeah, huge thanks for everyone for hopping on. And yeah, just a reminder too, just launching the new Snowboard Pro Camp team membership. So there's a join button right beside the subscribe. And if you want to become a team member here at Snowboard Pro Camp and support the channel, kind of like being a sponsor, it gets you a few perks, like your comments get priority. You get members only polls, and yeah, there's some other perks in there too. But you also get badges and things like that. So awesome way to support the channel. And so instead of like getting sponsored by brands or to make commercials for their gear, then you guys are the sponsors and can get gear that way to test and review for you guys. But also doing other kinds of polls too. So for example, if I'm gonna make some tutorials about how to do tricks, then there'll be polls like, oh, what video do you want to see? You know, should I make tutorials about spins, about jumps, about rails, boxes, things like that? Or for beginner content too, you know, what in beginner intermediate turns do you guys want to see more videos on? So it's a good way to interact, to get more feedback, and it's an awesome way to support the channel too. Jared says, review the Danny Duncan snowboard. That video would blow up. Yeah, I actually watched that video today. So yeah, Danny Duncan has his own snowboard. He's not really a snowboarder, but he's like a really super popular YouTuber, amazing skateboarder. And yeah, it's funny. I actually found Danny Duncan maybe five or 6 years ago, and he was making videos on how to like stretch for skateboarding. And then since then, he's like blown up. But yeah, he has a pretty cool snowboard. Ahsoka says, can you make a powder tricks video? Yeah, that'd be super fun. I have a few videos on the channel where I talk about tricks you can do in powder, but there's so many. So yeah, we'll get maybe a compilation, like five powder tricks to do in powder, kind of video idea. That would be super fun. All right, so In Motion SLB, who is the first member, who's got the little emoji of a pond skim, is or badge, I should say. He's got the badge of the pond skim. Says, I missed a super chat. So let's go check it out. How do I get back to super chats? All right, I can't see the super chats. Let's go back to live chat. All right, let's find that super chat. Oh. All right, I think too many questions have come through and the super chat is gone. I can't see it. When I click on the super chat button, it doesn't come up. If anybody can repost what the super chat question was and who asked it, I will answer. Jared wants some how to ride street videos. That would be sick too. Yeah, that'd be super fun. There's not a ton of like street spots around. I'm sure there are a bunch of street spots, but that would be super fun. I was thinking of doing, we have so much snow here, I could actually build like a front yard jib setup. So I might do like a backyard park sort of setup video. All right, let's do the first beanie giveaway. So I need to think of a question. Ooh, what's a good question? Oh man. Okay, here's I mean, this is an easy question. What resort was I riding at in the last video? Like yesterday's video. If anyone can tell me the resort I was riding at in yesterday's video, then you win a beanie sticker pack. I think we got the answer already. He spelt it wrong, but I'll take it. So Jarek Twardowski, Heavenly. Yeah, we were at Heavenly. So sweet, man. You win the sticker pack. Beanie and sticker pack. If you guys want to pick up any SBC beanies, in the description, there's a link as well. Damn, Jarek, you're super fast, man. Let me just double check. Oh, tons of people saying heavenly, 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 heavenly. I'll think of an even harder question for the next one. So Jarek, so to claim your prize, just email team@snowboardprocamp.com. And we need your like full name, full address, your house address, your full house address, and then we will get the beanie sticker pack off to you. Someone else asks, how would you rate Alyeska for beginner to intermediate riders? I'll be going there next month. Yeah, there's actually a pretty good beginner area at the bottom of the mountain. So there's, I think, at least 2 chairlifts that go through like beginner terrain. So I think for a beginner rider, you'll be sweet. And then as you feel like more comfortable, I think if you go up to the higher chairlift at Alyeska, it's kind of like blue terrain to get back down. So it's pretty manageable. Kaiser says, what restaurant is a must go in Whistler? Friday, I'm there for a week. So my favorite places in Whistler, none are like really fancy restaurants. It's all kind of just, it's not takeaway. It's like one step above takeaway. But I love sushi, not Sushi Village, but oh man, it's been a Samurai Sushi. That's one of my favorites in Nestor's Plaza. Also Splitsburger on Main Street in Whistler, one of my favorites. There's a Mexican place right by Splitsburger. What's it called? I think is it called Banditos? I don't know. Oh, and then there's a ramen place, Oyama Ramen, in the plaza by the Subway sandwiches. But yeah, Oyama Ramen is awesome as well. We got a super chat from the Send It Syndicate. Awesome. Thanks so much. He, saying, was me wishing happy 600K, and you seen CW there. Casey Willax. Haven't seen him out yet, but I saw he just got back snowboarding after his ankle surgery. So it's awesome to see Casey Willax back snowboarding, and yeah, him and Daly are out charging all kinds of mountains. So I'm sure I'll run into those guys at some point. Justin Visey with the super chat. Thanks, Justin. Says, hope everything is well. Kevin, let's shred Palisades next month. I'll hit up Yannick. Hope you guys will be around. Yeah, for sure. So next month, I think we got a place in Incline Village, so more on the Palisades side. So yeah, if you're up here, man, hit us up and we'll have to do some laps. That'll be amazing. Victor says, have you been to Norway? Haven't been yet. Really want to go. Alexander says, is the K2 Spellcaster 2022 good women's snowboard? Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't. Women's snowboards is kind of a tough one for me to know which ones are good or not. But yeah, check out, just search YouTube and maybe there's a review on it. Scooter says there will be a pond skim at Mount Hood Meadows in April. Awesome. We'll have to check that out. Yeah, I definitely want to do some pond skims this spring. Julio, when are you going to do a heli ski? It would be nice to see here. I don't know if they have heli skiing around Tahoe. I'll have to look into it. I'm not sure if it's in my budget for this year, but last year we went heli skiing in Alaska. That was amazing. And the year before, heli skiing in Whistler. So 2 of my favorite days of snowboarding. Videos on the channel for both, but yeah, if you get the chance to go heli skiing, it's awesome. Deadman says, do you think you will test clues? Possibly, yeah. I'll see if I can get my hands on some clues. It would be good. So eventually I'll do like step-ons versus Supermatics, but so that'll be a fun video to make. And then if I can add in clues or K2 clickers, I'm just going to see what I can get my hands on and also what people want to see. Justin says, hey Kev, congrats on 600K. Any tips for buying and getting into splitboarding? Yeah, I mean, definitely start out getting the gear. I have like a gear list video about what to get for splitboarding, but then also sign up for like an Avi course. That's like a really good way to like learn. Whoa. That's a really good way to like learn all the safety stuff. And on the heli course, they actually take you out into the backcountry. So it's like a good way to like learn to use all the gear. But yeah, start off just like picking up all the basics that you need. And then also, you can start using it in sort of safe places as well. So start off some places that are easy, getting used to the gear, and then take a heli or an Avi course. But backcountry stuff is super fun. Yesterday, so the video coming out tonight is we do like the first backcountry sort of trip of the season. There's like a place actually basically in this neighborhood. It's called Mount Tahoe, and it's like a very small mountain. And yeah, we went snowshoeing up it and did some videos and actually took the step-ons into the backcountry. So that was really fun. So, but yeah, start out with some Avi safety gear and a course and just start practicing. Hector, all-time top 3 freestyle park boards. Nice. So yeah, top 3. So I would say the Nidecker Sensor Plus is in the top 3. Also the GNU Headspace I would put in my top 3. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Man, there's so many good ones. Maybe also the Capita, what's that board called? Maybe I'd throw not the Capita DOA. It's a bit, the Capita Super DOA. That one was super fun for park as well. Jacob wants to know, do you still have the Mind Expander Twin? I don't. Actually, I gave it away. So somebody out there's got it. Carlton says, has weight been a factor in your journey? I'm planning on bulking up this year. I think for snowboarding, you kind of want to be as light as possible. So like I'm 6'3", so for snowboarding, I'm definitely on the taller side. But when I was like in my early 20s, I was definitely like bigger, bulkier, and being slimmer, I think helps for snowboarding. So like, just because as you're riding, it's like the lighter you are, when you fall, it's going to make less of a thud. For jumping, it's easier to jump when you're lighter. And all the pro snowboarders are also like super light. So yeah, I would try to be like as light as possible. Oh wow, tons of questions coming through. I'll have to do another live chat, like maybe later this week, and get to more of these questions that I'm missing. But yeah, thank you guys all for hopping on. 159 people, 85 likes. Again, big thank you for everyone for helping me get to 600K. Thanks to all the OG subscribers for being here for all the years. Thanks to all the new subscribers. And yeah, launching this SPC team membership. So there's a join button right there. Get some special perks. Awesome way to be a sponsor of the channel. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Yeah, people already asking, what do I prefer, the Supermatics or the Step-Ons? Honestly, I need to ride both some more. Like my initial reaction is that I still just prefer my traditional bindings. So when I first ride these, to me, compared to traditional bindings, they're not as good. And same with the Supermatics. I still prefer traditional bindings. But I'm going to continue to ride both, kind of back and forth, so that I can just like truly get used to each one and then give you guys like my final thoughts on that. But I don't want to give it too much away yet. To be honest, I don't really quite know. But yesterday in the backcountry, the Step-Ons, they worked perfectly well. The Real Long John says, yo, Kev, my feet keep getting numb and causing pain when snowboarding. I bought new insoles, but they don't seem to help. What do you think? I would think it could be a couple things. One is that the boots could be too small. I feel like that's very common in snowboard boots, is like snowboard shops like try to get you into like the smallest boot possible, and then you end up with foot pain that way. It's kind of like, I remember one time I bought, or like actually multiple times when I was a kid, I remember having like shoes that were too small, like your feet, would grow, and then you're in shoes that are too small and you're walking to school. And I remember my feet just like killing me. And my mom bought me this like thing I could put into my shoe to kind of like expand it. You like crank some kind of lever and it expands your shoe, and it just like never worked. And I've had the same problem with my snowboard boots over the years, where I'm told to get a boot that's like really tight on my foot, and I take it back in like a couple times to get heat molded and expanded, and it just doesn't like do the trick. And so that could be the first thing, is that they could be too small. The other thing is your boots might be too tight. So especially like the lower set of laces or the lower boa, if you're tightening that too much, that can give you foot pain. So what I like to do is I like to keep the bottom of the boot fairly loose and then get the top portion of the boot really tight. And I just have traditional laces, and even with the traditional laces, I find that I can get the top half of the boot super tight. And even on my Vans High Standard Pros, I get it comes with like a Velcro strap, and I get that top Velcro strap really tight. And then if I want my boots, like if I want my run to be like more locked in or tighter or looser, then I can do that with the binding straps. So that could be the next thing, is just trying to have the lower section of your boot a bit looser. And if those things both don't work, yeah, then you might just have to get new boots. I think a misconception too is that, you know, all boots across the board are equally comfortable. It just depends on what foot is going into them. But, you know, with running shoes, I feel like most people think Adidas, Vans, Nike, there's like certain shoes that are very comfortable, and some are more comfortable than others. And snowboard boots are like that too. So talk to friends, talk to friends that you know and ask them, hey, how comfortable are your boots? And just even strangers, if you see like the lifty, hey, how comfortable are those boots that you're standing in for the next like 4 hours? And that's like a good way to get feedback. And that's actually how I landed on Vans, is because I had like so many people telling me, oh, Vans snowboard boots are so comfortable. And so, yeah, just talk to people and see what they say. But yeah, it can be tough getting like comfortable boots. Oh, Jared says, I've had the same Vans boots for 11 years. That is amazing. Awesome, man. The Black Zionist says, facts. Vans Fargo, the best boots I've ever owned. Wow. Yeah, my favorite boots are definitely the Vans High Standard OGs and the Vans High Standard Pros. Both are just like so comfortable. The OGs are like even more comfortable. They're just like, they're a bit softer flex wise, but they're just, yeah, they're mega comfortable. How do you feel about the flying V camber profile in Burton and competitor boards? To be honest, I haven't ridden a flying V board in like 7 or 8 years, and I'm sure it's changed. But honestly, when I had the flying V, I didn't like it. I felt like it made the board just feel a bit like flat. Like when you're pushing on it, it doesn't give you like much response back. And just overall, I think I prefer just more, at least in that type of board, like in a like park slash freestyle snowboard. I want something that's a bit more camber dominant, because I want that when I push on it, it pushes back, and the snap out of the tail. I want, when I go to load up a tail for an ollie, I want to have lots of like snap coming out of that tail, and for the board to give me the resistance so that I can ollie higher. And I think with some of the flying V shapes, I just don't remember feeling that. But the board may have changed in the last 7 or 8 years, because I haven't tried one in a while. All right, lots of good questions here. Ross, I'm a new snowboarding. I'd like to know your opinion. What are your best boots? Okay, we just kind of got into that. All right, we should do the second giveaway soon as well. Apparently there's another super chat. Let me see if I can get to the super chats. The Send It Syndicate with a super chat says, you should have Burton step-ons with photons. I know, I've heard that. But my problem is that I don't like the thingy, the knob. I like traditional laces. I don't like the other one that I can't think of right now. So yeah, that's why I didn't get photons. I mean, the boots I have with the step-ons, they're not like overly soft. They're like a mid flex. So, I mean, if you have to have stiff boots with step-ons, then that should just be all they should come with. Like they shouldn't have like the other options. But I'm giving them more of a chance. Don't worry. I'm like those boots that I have, the Kunos or the Kudos or the whatever they're called. They're like, I'm getting them laced up super tight. The Kendos. But yeah. Anthony, I was randomly selected via a previous video comment on your channel to receive a bunch of gear. What is this scam? Oh, a bunch of gear. Which pieces of gear were you randomly selected to get? Anthony Federici. Um, I mean, yeah, the last live chat, I think we did a beanie giveaway or two ago, and I'm pretty sure we got all those out. But if it was a bunch of gear, I mean, maybe that was a different channel. Maybe you were watching someone else. Victor wants to know, have you tried Vimina boards? Haven't tried Vimina. Bad Riders, 600K subs is huge. Congrats, Kev. I agree with Old Man. Photons are the bomb. Okay, awesome. All right, I need to try out some photons then. But honestly, I like the kendos. The kendos, like, I really like them a lot. So let me try out the kendos with the step-ons on some different terrain, some carving, some park. I did have them in the backcountry yesterday, Adam. So, and they're feeling good. So maybe I'm getting used to them. Maybe like that first day, I was just I was not feeling it. Oh, somebody's saying there's been a lot of scam comments as of late. Yeah, there's it's the internet. The internet is full of all kinds of stuff that's going on. So you gotta be careful. All right, we need to do another giveaway soon. What's like a good question? Let me think of one. When I think of a question, we'll do the giveaway. Benjamin says, have you ever tried public snowboards? No, but Yannick, he has a public snowboard. The public, what's it called? Disruptor or public disease? I can't remember. But yeah, he has one. I think he likes it. Jacob says, did you move the footbed forward because you added so much forward lean? I don't think you're getting the heel clicked in. So I did I actually adjusted them yesterday. So I took away some forward lean and I've moved the footbed even. So basically all the comments I got on the first video, I tried to implement into the bindings for yesterday's riding. So we'll see how that goes. Owen, do you prefer the channel mounting system or the regular one? Yeah, for me, the Burton EST system, I don't like it because I've seen too many people, their bindings move like throughout the day. And it's happened to me as well because I rode ESTs for like 7 or 8 years. And yeah, I was just like, every year I had Burton for like 10 years. But then once my feet started moving on the ESTs, and I would always have to go up and like make sure the screws were tight like every single day, that's when I started to get away from it and go back to the traditional four-hole discs. So yeah, to me, like the EST system is like, it's not good. I've seen everyone with like their stance maxed out because the screws just loosen throughout the day, or maybe they didn't get them tight enough on that day, but to me, the EST it's not reliable enough. David says, I'm 53 and just started snowboarding on Burton with step-ons. I felt like the best way to start. Was I wrong? David, if you can, pick up a pair of traditional boots and give it a try. And then maybe you can give us some feedback. Because I don't know, it's tough because if you're used to one thing and you trade to something else, or if you've never tried that other thing, to me, I think performance-wise, you get the best performance with the straps. But yeah, it's kind of it can be different from person to person. All right, let's think of a question for the giveaway. What's a good question? All right, let's do it. Okay, I'm thinking back. This is gonna be an old question. All right, so from the video on the summer solstice, what who were the two people I was snowboarding with? They're snowboarding with me at the end of the day. So as we're riding out in the sunset, summer solstice video, who are the two riders that were with me? Oh man, this is a tough one. I'm just reading all the answers coming through. It's pretty good. It's this past summer, this very past summer solstice video that just came out this past summer. I'll give you guys a clue. It's not, TJ wasn't there. That's a good question. Scotty James and Mark McMorris. Good answer. Oh, Master Yoda got it. Xander and Trevor. Yeah, big shout out to Xander and Trevor up at Timberline. Man, had such a fun summer hanging out with those guys riding, and they definitely made that summer solstice ride out just like next level. So Master Yoda, email us your full name, full address, and we'll send you out a beanie and sticker pack. But yeah, I like some of these other answers too. Sean White, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be super fun to ride with Sean White. Andreas and Chris, yeah, love those guys too. Mark McMorris and Zeb Powell, amazing. Elmo, we got a bunch of Chris and David, TJ and David Jones. I think TJ and David are both in Japan right now. A little bit jealous. Matt Miniacci and David Jones. Oh man, yeah, missed riding with Matt Miniacci when he came out to Whistler. That was so much fun. All right, just wanted to go back. So let me see. Phone's got 7% battery. We're at 46 minutes. Let's see if we can get to 1 hour. The Real Long John says, how long do you usually spend on the mountain in a day? I'm usually doing like full days. So from like maybe like 9 until 2 or 3. So I'm trying to spend like a solid like 5 hours at the mountain at least. 6 Feet Mouse says, did you not like the bindings? First impressions are just kind of like average. Gonna still take these bindings out for some more rides and like in park, on groomers and things like that. Bad Rider says, hey Kev, what are your summer plans this year? Oh, really good question, Adam. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I'd love to get back to Mount Hood for July, one of my favorite places to be. I've never been to Argentina, so Argentina is like a possibility. Also love snowboarding in New Zealand in the spring at Cardrona. Or we could switch things up and go to Australia and go back down under. So not exactly sure. It's a bit too far out right now, but definitely Argentina has kind of popped into the mix recently. LF Production says, meet up with Malcolm Moore. Yeah, I think, man, he's been making some awesome videos too. And yeah, it would be sweet to go out to Europe and link up with him. I think Europe is having like a rough season at the moment. If anyone like rides in Europe, let us know how the conditions have been. But yeah, I haven't seen a video from him in a little while. I'm thinking maybe it's because the conditions they've just been like not enough snow. Adrian, what are your progression goals this year? So a few progression goals. I would definitely like to just get some more consistent park days and just get more of like the board slides front and back happening on some rails. Man, rails are so addictive, and you know, my rail riding has progressed kind of slowly over the years, and this past summer definitely made some breakthroughs on the rails. So yeah, I want to just get more comfortable with being sideways on like, you know, some more challenging rails. And I would like to start adding some more like tricks into the powder too. So get some like flips going front and back, and maybe some spins as well. So just like more freestyle elements in the backcountry, maybe go out and build some like kickers, and then also have some more rail session days. Oh, we got a scammer. Rob, what's the best way to find your friends on the slopes? I tried walkie-talkies but found them hit and miss. Or did I get cheap ones? You may have gotten cheap ones, Rob, because I think definitely if you spend, so the ones that I got, I think they're called BCA walkie-talkies. They're about around $200 American, or maybe more, maybe 230, and the range is like really crazy long. So maybe check out BCA, like the real backcountry walkie-talkies. Yeah, that may be the best way to go. Oh yeah, Master Yoda. So the email is team@snowboardprocamp.com. Adrian, how much does a Mount Hood trip cost? Rough estimate. I mean, you can either camp and go stay there for free, like in the summertime, and then lift tickets are a bit expensive in the summer. I think they're like $120 a day. But there is a summer pass too, which is $700 or $800. So it can be expensive, but accommodation can be cheap if you. A lot of people like stay in their car or an RV, or go camping. I think there's some there's a decent amount of accommodation too in the area. So you may have to stay like 45-minute drive away and stay in some. You could probably get $150 a night hotel. So yeah, a few options for snowboarding. Jonah says, is there new sponsors for this year? Yeah, so the new sponsor plan is to have no brand sponsors. I don't want any brand sponsors. So yeah, that's why I've set up the members area on Snowboard Pro Camp so that you guys can be the sponsor. I want like it to be community-based sponsorship. I mean, the trickiest thing with sponsors is that, you know, they may send you gear that is like you don't like, or the wrong size, or who knows, there's the pressure to make videos and maybe in a certain way. Not across the board, but in certain circumstances. There's also like, yeah, I remember I had one, here's an example. So I had one sponsorship deal. I won't tell you guys like the brand or anything like that, but it was for like a decent amount of money. And, you know, it was a contract, and there was it's probably 10 things I had to acknowledge in the video, and not acknowledge, like kind of topics to kind of cover. And I had gotten the product like 6 months earlier, and it was taking a while just to get. It was during COVID, so it was hard to like go snowboarding. And I someplace far destination, made the video, was super happy with it, and then got an email and asking for like one more thing to be in the video. And at that point I was like, no, like this isn't for me. So just scrap the video, scrap the sponsorship. And like that's like, I think pretty common. I don't want to deal with any of that. So yeah, zero sponsors, and I just want to focus on making content for you guys, and that's like what makes me happy, and that's what I think is the best way to do it. So that's why this season too, it's been all in on tutorials, on giving you guys like my honest opinion on gear, and yeah, no commercials. I don't want to make any commercials for any companies. The Real Long John, any creator collabs coming soon? That's a really good question. So no creator collabs in the works right now, but yeah, there's so many new snowboard YouTubers like popping up too that it'd be great to collab with a bunch of them. So I feel like almost anywhere you go now, there's snowboard content creators. So anytime I do a trip, I'm gonna try to link up and collab. If you guys have any collab requests, let me know. Oh, Snow Team DHB. Are there any rare boards or gear you wish you had? Ooh, good question. So rare stuff. What's like a rare piece of gear I wish I had? Oh man. Actually, I don't think there is. Maybe there isn't any rare gear I wish I had. Yeah, one thing I wish I did have is one of those Burton 3D boards. Some of those, like the Burton 3D POW boards. I mean, this is a good example. I did have them at one point for like to make enough for one day to make a video, and then they're gone. But I would actually like to have a Burton 3D board to ride in some powder and just like get more practice. I think it's called the Deep Days is like the main one that's like got the like hydrodynamic channels in the base. So that would be really fun to ride and test out some more. Nawa says Sean White or Jonathan Buckhouse. For sure, you should collab. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I've done a bunch of days with Jonathan Buckhouse. Yeah, it would be fun to ride with him again. And I've never met Sean White, but it would be pretty cool. He doesn't really make like YouTube content though. But if I saw him out there, I'd be down to make a video. Nathan says, more collabs with the guide from the heli ski trip. Yeah, we had such a cool guide up in Alaska. He was a really cool dude. Whew. Ward says, would be sick to see you and Gimbal God create. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's been putting out some really cool videos this winter. John Wolf says, what do you like to do other than snowboarding? Other than snowboarding, I like to chill, try to eat, I like finding cool restaurants to eat at. Man, this winter has just been a lot of shoveling snow, eating food and going snowboarding. So outside of that, it's just a lot of chilling, watching shows on Netflix. Outside of by the time the day's over of snowboarding, I just want to take it easy. But yeah, a show I really got into the last few months is Orange is the New Black on Netflix. I watched the entire season 1 through 7. Do you guys have any favorite shows you'd recommend or are watching at the moment? When are you leaving South Lake Tahoe? So at the end of the month, we're moving out of this place and we're moving to Incline Village. Matt's in Vegas says, my wife says step-in bindings are for gapers. Is she right or should I get them? Thanks. I would just get the traditional. I would go for traditional bindings. Yeah. They're not for gapers, but for me, just between the two, I would just go for traditional. But yeah, still going to test out the step-ons and give you more feedback. Arian says, congrats on 600K. Amazing. Thanks, Arian. Oh, yeah, The Real Long John, Better Call Saul. Yeah, watch that one as well. Watch the whole season, or the whole series, and season finale. That's I actually liked Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad used to be I guess in my top 3 of shows. Better Call Saul has moved in there. Also love The Sopranos. It's kind of an older show, but used to love watching that. And Game of Thrones, of course, that was one of the best. Whew. Awesome, guys. So gonna call the live chat there. It's getting a little bit chilly out here. And but yeah, thank you guys for hopping on. Thanks so much for 600K. And yeah, stay tuned. More videos coming video coming tonight about our first backcountry day of the season. And yeah, we'll do another live chat later this week to answer all the questions that I missed. So if you guys want to hop on again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and also hit the bell to get notified. Then you'll get notified when I go live. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for 600K. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks everyone for the super chats as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Awesome. See you guys. Have fun out there snowboarding.